Hi everybody, my name is Tracy and I am 48 years old, and I am doing this video to give you a little insight into what I'm going through as far as something called red skin syndrome. This is actually addiction to topical steroids. Give you a little bit of background on my story. I've had eczema since a child. I have applied creams irregularly throughout my life. Go to the dermatologist, a little spot here and there, he would give me some cream. And I'd put it on and, it'd be gone. Was always a self-limiting situation and never seemed to need to put the steroids on for a longer period of time. So this is now December, and in March of this year, I found that developed a bit of a stronger case of eczema. I'd been traveling out of the country for a while and got back and had some idea that I'm now allergic to something here, and decided to go to the drugstore and buy some of the topical steroid that you can get there, the hydrocortisone 1%. Started using that just on the wrist areas where it was seeming to be a problem. And before I knew it, I was putting it on my whole arms because all of my arms started getting itchy. I was waking up at night and scratching my arms. Well, I got to put more cream on. What is it that I'm allergic to? I kept thinking, being gone for so long, I've come back and now I'm allergic to my cats, for example. So there was, if you've had eczema, I'm sure you realize, there's always these, you're wondering, what could it be that I'm allergic to? What am I getting into that's causing this flare-up? For me, I believe it was probably mostly a stressful situation that I was going through back in March. So like I say, it led me to start putting on the creams, but I found that I just kept putting on more and more. By July, went to a dermatologist, and he said, well, you've just got a systemic case of eczema. It's very bad, and you need stronger steroids. So I was given two prescriptions. I was given a prescription for a 16-ounce jar of a very strong steroid to put all over my body, and I was also given a mild one to put around my eyelid area. Fortunately, I had the foresight to not fill the stronger one. I had already realized by July that something was going on, that this wasn't working, and that the steroids could be possibly making it worse. But I really didn't have a choice, because when I would not put the steroids on, of course I would start flaring up, and the next thing I know, I'm back to using them again. So I was in this sort of semi-withdrawal period for a number of months until I came across Kelly's website in October. As I read the symptoms of what people were going through with their addiction problems, I realized, well, it's obviously what's going on with me. So I stopped all steroid use late October, and now it's middle of December. So I'm nearly 2 months into the process. So if you can see here, I'm actually having a good day. The skin is not quite so red on the arms here. The telltale sign is this redness that goes up until you get to the palm, and the palm is of course white. I didn't put any steroid creams there, but you can see where I had put the steroid creams. Now mind you, this was almost 2 months ago now that I stopped using the creams. I've never had eczema in my adult life that exhibits these kinds of symptoms. This full-on red skin, red skin all the way down. You can see perhaps an area on my neck that I was putting the creams. Fairly delineated, kind of almost like it's been burned. Obviously the itching is severe. So really the only course of action is, of course, to stop them. And as you can actually see perhaps here, there's more of a dermatitis growing here, and you can see it on the upper arms here. These are areas I've never put steroids on, so they have actually it's actually one of the symptoms of the withdrawal is that you'll start seeing the dermatitis distant from the parts that you actually put it on. And I don't know if I can stretch my leg up here or not, but you might be able to see the legs are red in a lot of spots as well, and I never put any creams on the legs or the thighs, except a few times on the backs of the knees. So it's a pretty bad situation. I probably wouldn't be filming this if I was anywhere in a bad flare-up situation. It's just too uncomfortable to just even sit here. So like I said, having a good day right now, hoping that won't be too much longer. I could have 2 or 3 more months of this. Since I was a mild user of the creams, and so there's a lot less damage to my blood vessels than a lot of folks out there. So if you're one of those folks that's going through it, probably the best advice I can give is to have a lot of ice packs at the ready. Get those ice packs that you can fill with ice when you run out of the cold ones, the cold ice packs. You want to use as much ice as possible. It'll stop those signals from the nerves going to the brain that tells it to scratch. So very, very helpful is to get that ice on there as soon as you start feeling it to itch. Some people swear by oatmeal baths, Epsom salt baths. I have found, for me personally, that as little water that my body is exposed to, the better. You want to just try to keep putting the fire out if you can and not try to inflame the situation. I work out a lot. I used to, but I don't now. So I just have to get over this before I can actually start exercising and getting that sweat going, which is not something that we want to do right now, from everything I understand. So anyway, I hope that's helpful to you. Again, peruse the website. There's a whole lot of great information here. Anyway, thanks for watching.